It's Hauser. Wings Hauser. I mean, do I actually look like some tall, tan, golden boy who runs up and down the beach in slow motion in tiny, tight trunks, huh? Is that what I look like? Wrong, huh? Does this look like Pamela Anderson?
No, sir.
No, sir, what?
No, sir. Yes, sir, Mr. Hauser.
And now, our feature presentation.
So what happened? You marched into the bar like Rambo and tried to take on the old Third Reich?
Something like that.
Jeez, what were you thinking, Joe?
Obviously, Maggie, I wasn't thinking, was I? I mean, I see this dick walking down the sidewalk waving a Nazi flag. I got pissed off. For Christ's sakes, my father fought in World War II, invaded Normandy on D-Day. What do you expect?
That's trash.
Hello and welcome to That's Cool, That's Trash, the podcast where we watch a psychotronic movie online, then get together on Skype to break down the crazy. I'm Matt Howell, and I'm joined today by Kyle.
Hi, everyone.
And Jacob.
Hello.
Hey, guys. Thanks for being here.
You bet.
Thank you.
Happy Wings Hauser month.
Yeah, how's the month going?
It's going okay. I've been watching a lot of movies to, pick stuff for the show, so I'm steeped in Wings right now.
All right, sounds
so
good.
I know Wings has made a ton of movies, but what's the percentage of his films do you think you've watched at this point?
That's a great question. I think I'm probably, well, you know what? I happen to have IMDb open. Let's see how many credits he has. He has 113 acting credits. That's including television, which is a large part of them, like Rizzoli and Isles, Castle, that kind of shit.
Murder, She Wrote.
Hawaii Five-0 reboot. Yeah. Of his films, I feel like I've seen probably about 60% of them.
Damn, that is a feat.
Wow.
Yeah, I've been plowing through them. I'd say I thought you were going to ask me about the ratio of how many I watch to how many I select. I feel like every movie I pick, I probably watch 4 or 5.
Wow.
And yeah, so it's been Wings Hausery over here, but how have you guys been?
Good. I had a beer today out in public, which was really nice.
Really?
I went, to Food Cart Pod and had a beer, which was great. And other than that, I've just been watching way too much TV and spending a lot of time on the couch.
Good.
Yeah, so healthy lifestyle over here. How about you, Jacob?
Well, last couple of days have been nice. So we've been out in our backyard. We set up our little tent and, have couches and cushions. And Alicia has set her new drawing board up outside. So she's been working out there. And I've been, doing my typical backyard thing, which is drinking and reading comics.
Nice.
And she's working on her caricatures, right? Of passersby.
Yeah.
Probably gonna get a lot of foot traffic in your backyard, though. Huh?
Her boardwalk caricatures.
Yeah.
But
do you like fishing? I hope you like fishing because I put a fishing rod in here.
You're into skateboards, right?
That's from something, right?
Yeah, it is.
It's sort of like a Simpsons thing.
I think it is a Simpsons thing. No, it's like you like dune buggies, right? Everybody likes dune buggies. I think it's some sports guy who's a caricaturist on The Simpsons. I can't remember.
Oh, man. Oh. So we're wrapping up the revival. Here you guys have both been on revival episodes. I thought, since places are going into phase 1, things are kind of slowly starting to reopen or whatever, that'd be a good time to just kind of settle back down and try and read some books again or watch some Criterion movies instead. So I'm definitely kind of getting a little backed up with filthy movies. So we're doing, this is our second of the Wings Hauser month, third annual Wings Hauser month. And we have an unprecedented third Wings Hauser episode. I thought if we're going to end the show, let's go out with a bang. So I'm going to have Joe and a guy that played music with Kyle and I in the Ex-Hustlers, Pete, are going to talk about Norman Mailer's Tough Guys Don't Dance, which is a legendarily berserk movie. I talked to you guys about a little bit about it, but yeah, it's if you watch like any kind of YouTube comp of like worst line reads ever, Ryan O'Neal on the beach. Have you ever seen that where he's saying, "Oh God, oh man, oh God, oh God, oh man, oh God, oh man," freaking out, spinning around in circles while the camera revolves around him 360. It is the whole movie is fucking insane. But I'm very excited to talk about that one too. But anyway, we're talking about a film from 1994 that Wings wrote, produced, directed, and starred in, called Gang Boys, and it's also known as Skins. And Kyle, tell the people why I wanted to talk to you guys about this one.
It seems like with everything that's happening right now, that this is part of maybe like an echo from the past. We're still kind of talking about a lot of the same issues that Wings was bringing up in this movie from 1994. And, plus this is a vehicle that he, wrote and directed to show off those skills that Wings has. Got multiple levels happening here.
Yeah. So he dabbled a bit before this in directing. He, I think he started like in '89 directing his own film. He ghost wrote one that he directed. These are kind of the late '80s through the early '90s is kind of considered his sleazy era, like the Cinemax kind of erotic thriller era. So I think he wrote one called like The Art of Dying. They're all kind of just noirish, sexy Cinemax type of things. But he directed some of those. And I think this one was like his. I would love to know. I would kill. Okay, so first of all, the people listening, you can't find this one easily online, legally. Like you can't go to YouTube or Daily Motion or whatever. I found one full clip of it online, but it was amateur is saying a lot. It was dubbed into Russian, almost in like a one guy just doing an audio commentary and just doing it all himself kind of way, which was really weird. But I would kill to see this, like a proper DVD, not Blu-ray, DVD release with a Wings Hauser commentary track, because I want to know what the inspiration was for this, what was going on that made him feel like he needed to tell this story, because he seems like he's very impassioned. Mm-hmm. And I want to know why. I mean, his message is valuable here. But I just want to know where this came from erotic thrillers to this message film that's very messagey. So Jacob, can you just give the real brief synopsis there of what this is about?
You bet. The TV Guide synopsis of this would be a drunken ex-cop teams up with ex-wife to avenge the beating of their gay son by skinheads. Wings Hauser, playing Joe, the ex-cop, eventually rallies a diverse crew in 90s LA to seek retribution.
Nicely done.
Yeah. I saw some allusions to this online. It's reviled, like on IMDb. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend like this is some major tour de force or anything. But a lot of people just said it's like imagine American History X made by people that had only ever made exploitation films and had no understanding how film worked. Which is, begrudgingly, I have to say that's a really good description of it.
It is.
So I guess, first of all, just like, we talked a little bit before we started recording, but I have a ton of clips. It's not the most soundbitey type of movie. I want to talk a little bit more just because it is Wings driving, so it's his vision, and the Nazi thing seemed really appropriate right now. So what was your impression, Kyle? I'm really curious what you guys thought of this.
You know what? I was not expecting much out of this, and I thought that it was a really strong start. the camera work felt really good to me. It was, obviously it was like a very low budget production, but it felt like they had really done some of their homework in the beginning of this. Really strong start. I really liked the editing style in this thing. It was very frenetic. There was a lot of energy, and it actually grabbed me. I was kind of pulled in. I don't want to go too far into how this thing kind of topples over, but a strong start. I was actually a little bit impressed.
And Jacob?
I thought a little bit the opposite for me. I agree with Kyle. It's definitely a low budget affair, but they had some money to work with. Like this isn't Ed Wood level low budget. Like they definitely had a budget, and like camera work and editing was really interesting. I thought the first half of the movie I thought was good, but it just took a long time to get to a place that grabbed me. The second half really grabbed me, which I'm sure we will talk about at length. But just the series of montage after montage, I was just getting more and more excited to where I was like, oh, this is another montage. This is great. Like that really appealed to me. So I enjoyed the second half of this movie a lot.
Interesting. Okay, we will get into that stuff later. I did want to mention that this is a family affair. So Wings, his son Cole is arguably more famous than he is. I think if you look up his IMDb page, he works on probably more well-known shows and has like a recurring character role on some drama that's like not NCIS, but it's something like big, some show. So I feel like whenever I look for Wings Hauser stuff, it's always like it autofills like, is Wings Hauser Cole Hauser's son? Like, or dad, I mean, like, yeah. Like, oh, I guess he's more famous than his dad is. That's weird to me. But so he is cast as Bence in this, who is the leader of the skinhead gang. And he was an interesting guy. You guys knew going in that was his son, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you see any resemblance either in performance or physicality?
I saw a similarity around the eyes, but aside from that, he's not that much.
There is that kind of over accelerated energy that seems to pop out from time to time. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit of that overacting, but you can tell like they're just trying to bring that extra something to the moment.
I feel like the main difference between father and son to me in their craft is that Cole, in this film at least, has a real like Marlon Brando, like mumbly, that really low talking, just kind of alighting over his lines, and just kind of like that James Dean kind of like just inner, like he's not pushing out until he does, and then he's really explosive. But he had that weird kind of just like slow burn kind of like inward energy that was kind of weird to me. Like actually, let's play a little bit of him. He opens the film, I think, with I think he's putting on his like he's not wearing Nazi regalia, but he's wearing like a crucifix and right. And he's kind of suiting up and he's just saying like some kind of whatever the Nicene Creed is for Nazis.
I was not delivered into this world in defeat, nor does failure course in my veins. I'm not a sheep waiting to be prodded by my shepherd. I'm a lion and I refuse to talk, to walk, to sleep with the sheep. The slaughterhouse of failure is not my destiny. I will persist until I succeed.
Is he standing in the middle of a swastika, like a giant swastika on the ground? Okay, that's right.
Yes. So one of the main sets, or at least for the Nazi skinheads, all hang out in this warehouse that is a bar/club where their skinhead bands play. But then there's also this giant, huge like warehouse with a huge swastika on the floor that looks all these crane shots, right? So it's very dramatic and it's all lit very starkly with a spot right on the swastika. So we get to meet his crew. And a lot of them are pretty typical Hollywood skinhead, whatever, proto-fascist, whatever. But Vince throughout this whole thing is not interested in any shenanigans. I mean, he definitely is the leader. He doesn't partake as much with his flock, it seems like. He does get directly involved in the MacGuffin that starts this whole story going here in a minute. But like, I think the only time you ever see him, like, he's always away from the rest of the skinheads, kind of focusing on his hate and not really like moshing or whatever, right? I mean, like, the band is playing at one point and he's standing on the side, like, furiously shaking his head up and down, smoking cigarettes angrily because he's really feeling the skinhead energy. But he doesn't like going and mosh with people, and he doesn't like lower himself down to that level. He's the most pure.
Definitely leads from the back.
Yes.
See, I got a real Manson vibe from him, that he was just kind of, he's directing things. He's an overseer, but he's going to have a distance between him and his flock.
That's a good point. And then I think after that, I think we get our first scene of the crew kind of like cruising through LA, like stomping around or kind of raising hell or something, or at least this might just be the opening credits, but I wanted to play a little bit of this kind of Trent Reznor light music that's kind of like playing in the opening credit thing, because this just shot me back to the early 90s, like when this was like edgy, right? This would scare, like, imagine your parents renting this from the video store like on a Friday and watching this and like hearing this industrial music. So that must have been terrifying. Like, where's the backbeat? Why are all the drums hitting at the same time? What's happening?
There's a lot of shots of the gang in this, just like crushing down the street, just stomping in that triangle like formation, just like piercing crowds and, raising skinhead havoc, like you do.
So, Jacob, you were saying that, they did have some budget, but I feel like almost every shot that is in a street was stolen. Because there's one scene we'll come up to later where Wings first interacts with the gang, but like people are like standing outside like the Melrose Place, like, or whatever, like the tourist traps, like, come in and get a picture of Spider-Man and then buy this shirt and these neon glasses. Like, they're looking at the camera and smiling as it's going by. Like, that happens several times.
No, it happens a lot. You're absolutely right. I think he did get I don't know if you guys remember 1994. There was a at least here in Portland where I'm at and you guys are, there was a little bit of a skinhead thing going on here in the early 90s. And I think this was definitely, a Hollywood version of that.
So at that time, Kyle and I were both in Eugene, which, if people don't know, Eugene is a small rural town with a very liberal college in it. A couple colleges, but University of Oregon is there, and it's, where Ken Kesey's from and where the Dead played at Autzen Stadium frequently. It's a very hippie town outside of the farms. So we did have some skinheads. Kyle and I also played music at that time down there. So there were some skinhead-looking people and people that played punk that had some kind of fascist leanings in them. But it was definitely more like an indie rock kind of jam band kind of town back then. Mm-hmm. So I do remember hearing about the Portland skinhead thing at that time, though.
See, and it's funny. I remember hearing a lot more about it than actually seeing it. I wasn't there. I seem to remember they had something to do with the famous X-ray riots.
Yes.
That which I think was, could be simply put like skinheads versus anarchists, and put quotes around both of those terms. And but there were a lot of definitely the early types of anti-fascists that were always going around looking for skinheads, but I don't know. I don't know exactly how many there were, but they were around.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember hearing about this, like Matt said, like hearing about it being based in Portland and having connections to Idaho and a couple of other hotspots. But like, I don't know, were there skinhead groups popping up all over the United States around this time? Any ideas about this?
I'd be curious to know. Do you know, Jacob? Because I do feel like there was a resurgence in this movement in this time, but I don't know why.
Yeah, I feel like there was. I mean, I'm sure they existed and were terrible. I don't know how much of that was real and how much of that was a unsolved mystery saying everything is Satanists.
Yes,
kind of
satanic
thing.
panic
So,
kind of level.
You know, but no,
Geraldo.
Geraldo. No, they definitely were around, and they definitely were around in the Northwest. You know, Oregon has a pretty bad racist history when you dig into it. So there's definitely that there. I don't want to make light of that at all. Like, they're absolutely were active skinheads who did terrible things.
Yeah. This week, I don't know how much you follow. I have an outrage addiction, so I'm on Twitter a lot. So I saw this post of this Portland woman from her Snapchat feed, I think, like that, but she was kind of the new Karen. But she was like threatening people, like saying, like, you know, like, we gave you your freedom and you're doing this bullshit. And she said, like, you know, you're burning the flag. You burn the flag, we burn you. Like, just saying shit like that, stomping around. So she got doxxed within like 48 hours. Her phone number, address, full name, porn name were all posted immediately, and her place of work, which is 24 Hour Fitness. So it's funny that people still think they can live in this bubble, in this immunity right now. And all you have to do is put this up and tag the city and say, who is this? And they will find out who it is really quick. It's insane. But someone was posting in there. I was looking at the follow-ups to that, and people were saying, like, wow, Portland has, you know, blah, blah. And people were saying, like, yeah, you know, Portland has a pretty troubling history with race. And like, I was thinking about moving there. What kind of stuff is it? So I just, you know, Googled like Portland racist, and like, look at this. Like, Oregon had the sundown or the sunset laws, right? Where it's like, you could pass through town, but once dark was here and you're black, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
You cannot be out in public. People don't understand that. And like, I remember being told and when I was at PSU that in some of my social justice course stuff like that, that Portland was considered west of the Mississippi River the largest KKK hotbed.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
and full disclosure, I actually grew up in Gresham. And,
I thought you were going to say full disclosure, you grew up in the KKK.
KKK.
Anyway, good night, folks.
I grew up in Gresham, and Gresham definitely has some of those leanings. I was a little kid in Sandy and then in Gresham, but the East County in Portland has some troubling shit that has always existed there.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I do remember the skinheads actually murdering like an immigrant man, I believe, from like either Somalia or I'm not educated enough to be able to talk about this, but I do remember hearing about that at the time. Like, it was just boiling over here in town to the point of actually taking lives from the streets.
Yeah,
terrible.
I think that something actually recently happened with that, Kyle, because I read a news article about it. I don't remember it happening at the time. It was like 95 or something like that, right? Like early 91, 92. Somebody was either just paroled or somebody else was brought to justice. Something just happened with it in the last 6 months.
You're right.
I can't remember what that was. I was wondering when I was watching this, guy, since this is set in LA, do you think any of this backlash and rise in skinheads might have been a result of the riots after the Rodney King verdict? Like, do you think that that was a calling, you know, like a beacon for skinheads to be like, now's a good time to recruit?
I wouldn't doubt it.
People are scared. People are wondering what the hell is going on. Why are these people angry? These are cops. Cops are good guys, you know, because that was confusing to me. What was Rodney King, 92, 91?
I don't remember.
I can't remember either.
Yes.
But anyway, I was just curious about where you thought that came from. So Cole, back to the family thing. So also briefly appearing in this is Wings' oldest child, her name is Bright, and she in one of Wings's DT nightmares, she is an angel singing
God Bless America.
God Bless America. That's his eldest child.
And I believe producer as well on this one.
Was Bright was? Oh wow.
You
know what? You're right. I think her name was on there. You're right. Mm-hmm. Also, oddly enough, this we haven't even touched on this. This film co-stars Linda Blair, who is famous for being in The Exorcist, and kind of that movie kind of fucked her up. She was, reviled by the public, and people were just obviously horrified of her because of the character she played in this breakout, groundbreaking horror film, and she kind of had some substance abuse issues, I believe, and she went into B movies, started making women in prison movies, took her kid off anytime the director said, we could use some nudity in this scene. Like, yep, whoop, So she did a lot of nude scenes. She met Wings Hauser when they were making Bedroom Eyes 2, which is unrelated to Bedroom Eyes 1, guys. So you don't have to watch Bedroom Eyes 1 to jump into Bedroom Eyes 2. Totally unrelated, sequel and title only. They met in that erotic thriller, which, by the way, is a weird little movie. If you're bored, that's definitely like it starts off like a really a really just banal Cinemax late night programmer. And as it goes, the choices that the character makes, it becomes more noirish and more bizarre. And it just keeps rolling and snowballing until it's just like insane. But anyway, that's Bedroom Eyes 2. They met on that in 89, and they were a couple until 1994, which is when this was made. The weird thing about that is that Wings's wife is Callie Lilly, and she plays the newest, like she's like the skinhead chick you hand around.
Like the new recruit?
Yes, because she has a scene, which is weird. She's cutting her hair off, and when we first see her, and they're like pouring beer all over. I think she has her shirt off, or they're grabbing her breasts, something. But
just for the record, just one out.
Just one.
Well, that's right.
Yeah.
Some modesty there.
So that is who Wings is married to currently.
That is his current wife since 1994 or 5, which I just thought was weird that Linda Blair and then the woman he turned around and married were on the same film together. I wondered how that. Again, where's my DVD commentary?
Yeah, no shit.
Because I bet there's some stories there. I don't know. Did they start blinking? Kyle, Jacob and I have some bad news for you about Wings. He might be in elder distress. We've talked about this a lot, Jacob. I'm not on the show. His wife produced. Oh man, I don't even know where to start with you. Go to her IMDb page and read her bio sometime.
Okay.
She does this weird punctuation stuff, like where she's super artistic, feminist, weird. Jacob watched. So the last thing that I think Wings was in was he co-produced her film called Eve and God, This Female's Not Yet Rated. Is that what it's called?
Yep. You got it.
And it looks utterly surreal. Jacob tried to watch it and turned it off. At any rate, like Wings Hauser's Facebook page is clearly her driving and promoting her film. He doesn't post anything. He doesn't do anything on there. Last year when we had the Wings Hauser month, he actually reached out. I believe it was him saying like, "Oh, cool. I love your cards, your trading cards." And, I made that video of the Wings Hauser cards. And he asked, in a very kind of 70-year-old man way, like, what is Wings Hauser month? Like, I don't understand, and blah, blah. And so I told him about it, and then he wrote back and said, if I can ever help you, it's so cool. You guys are keeping the lights on. If I can ever help in any way, let me know. And I wrote back and said, I would love to do an interview with you. You want to just a quick Skype interview or something? And he didn't reply. And then at some point over the last year, Callie Lilly messaged me and said, that is not Wings Hauser on that Twitter account. That Twitter account has been taken over. And I was like, what? And then because she saw I had pinned a tweet from him, I'm sorry, in our account. So somehow she saw it because it was tagged. And then I went to the Wings Hauser account that he had been tweeting from a year ago, and this was clearly not Wings. He was getting really involved in politics when he was on. He was talking about Elizabeth Warren. He was talking about taking the country back from Trump. Like, he was very clearly left and very angry. And somewhere there was this break where there's no tweeting, and then it became this right wing of someone who's clearly interested in UK politics and is very conservative was tweeting from that account. So I reported it to Twitter. Hopefully it got pulled down, but it's definitely not Wings Hauser. But at any rate, he doesn't have any, maybe by choice, but I thought it was weird that she speaks for him in every outlet and he doesn't do anything. Like, I don't know.
I think another strange thing was that his Facebook page was completely taken over with the Oscar campaign for Callie's movie. Which I don't know. I mean, I love low budget movies. I love indie filmmakers, but that was to really think that you're seriously campaigning for an Oscar was a bit of a stretch. Like, that was a little insufferable to me.
Jacob, I also recommend that you read her IMDb bio. It is extensive. It's clearly written by her, and it is it shines a light into all the stuff you're wondering what the fuck is going on with her. She lays her whole life out. She's a trip.
Okay.
If you're listening, Callie, hi. You want to come on the show and defend your position? I'd love to talk to you. But I'm scared she's taking over Wings Hauser's communication with the outside world. That's what I'm trying to say.
So I did not finish the movie, but the only parts that I really saw Wings in, it looked like they were filmed in a hallway, and he looked kind of, I don't know, it was uncomfortable. He looked uncomfortable and weird. The
preview that you can see online looks like it's an extended music video from a college student who is doing like history of feminism and film studies.
Huh.
Like, it looks like it's virtually plotless. Was there a story?
No.
It's like a big art project, right?
Yeah, it's an art. I mean, I think extended music video is a good description of that.
Okay. And again,
I'm totally fine with that stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's totally fine. But it's just when someone does that and then expects it to be taken as the highest of high art, it just kind of rubs me the wrong way a little bit.
Yes. So Kyle, she's also a musician, songwriter. Her grandfather was somebody famous. She mentions that like 7 times in her bio. Forgot who that was, but anyway, she's in this. She was in another film that I previewed for this that came out 2 years after this called Broken Bars, that has Joe Estevez in it, and Wings plays a corrupt warden in a prison who makes the prisoners fight for like his own, and like runs prostitutes in and out. All this crazy corrupt stuff. But anyway, she was in that as well. She played one of the prostitutes that the warden sneaked in to pay back the prisoners for fighting and stuff. But I did not realize until I saw this movie that we're talking about tonight that was her first work with him. Anyway, let's listen to her while she chops off her hair and seems to be committing herself to the cause.
Daddy was a handsome man. Yeah! Left when I was 6. Yeah! I love Daddy. Yeah! He was a handsome man. Yeah!
So in case you couldn't understand that, she says, Daddy was a handsome man. He left when I was 6. I love Daddy. Daddy was a handsome man. That's apparently part of the pledge that you make when you join the skinheads. Yeah. So talk to me a little bit, Kyle, about Marjo.
Thanks for saying his name, because I didn't understand it through the entire film. It wasn't until this very moment that I actually heard it clearly for the very first time. So I believe that he is a high school student that is a homosexual young man who is out of the closet and living his life freely. And he was on a date with a much older man when on his way home, he was kidnapped by a couple of skinheads. And these skinheads took him back to the bar. It sounds like they had been following him for a little while. They kept calling him the Bride. And, basically we get introduced to Marjo, air quoting here on that one, new name for me. Marjo is part of the initiation ritual. So apparently you roll some dice, and if you get snake eyes, then they go out and find a homosexual man, and then the female has to have sex with that homosexual man in front of the group. And so that's what happens. And they beat up Marjo and strip him naked and leave him out on Hollywood Boulevard naked in front of the Walk of Fame.
Yeah. So as you were saying, they have some type of dice game. I think we used to just play 3-man and drink beer, but these guys are way more hardcore. So yeah, Wings is telling Marjo when they drag him in. I gathered after the fact that they went out cruising, and Kyle, I believe that older man I think he's hustling. I think that Marjo is a hustler, because Wings does say, like, you're out there hustling on the street or nickel and diming or something, like alluding to the fact that you're out there embarrassing yourself in addition to being homosexual,
Okay.
So they go out and cruise around and find this guy that somehow they know he's gay. But what happened is he was telling Marjo, this is Kix, that's her name. She rolled the dice. If she got 12, she'd take on 12 of my boys. If she rolled 6, she'd take on 6 of my boys. But she rolled snake eyes, and that means she has to turn a gay guy, whatever, flip a guy, right? Turn him around or something. So they went out and found a homosexual and did that as part of their mean-spirited thing. So he's in the hospital. And then we get to meet Linda Blair.
Mm-hmm.
And she turns out she's a singer in a bar.
Yeah. Forgot about that.
Oh.
I could not find out if that was her. I watched the credits and everything, and I pulled up a page for the soundtrack. I do not see that that's actually her. Do you guys know if she tried to cross over into singing?
I don't know if she did. I thought that the IMDb soundtrack section did say that was her singing.
Oh, did it? Okay.
Yeah, I think she did have the one credit in the soundtrack section.
Okay. Can we do a little taste of that? Because that was
please.
That was something.
Thinking of you and how we play, and I know deep in my heart that you come back and stay. Keep a light on for you. Keep a light on for you.
They don't write stuff like that anymore.
No. Did they write it then? Because I have to say I was probably like maybe 17, 18 in 94, but I don't remember looking like that or it sounding like that. Like I was kind of like I was a little confused by all of this music. Like maybe this is stuff that dads listened to in 1994.
I think that's a really good point because it all sounded like mid 80s music, like like that sounded like something that maybe could have been on a Berlin record or something. It definitely did not sound like your grungy 1994 current type of music. Absolutely not.
Yeah, I feel like I want to say Ricky Lee Jones or something. Like I don't know who it is, but it sounds like 1985 to me. Pretty hard.
Definitely.
Yeah. Like it was interesting. A lot of the prop cars were from the 80s as well. And like the police cars that they were using in this, off the lot were the oldest police cars. I was really kind of confused about about the timing, and also like I remember shoulder pads, but I don't remember shoulder pads and suits.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I wasn't paying close enough attention. I had a pretty small bubble in 94.
See, I actually thought the thing that looked most 1994 was Marjo's outfit before he gets taken. He looks like Matt Dillon in Singles.
Oh, whoa.
Like what was the name of the band? Matt Dillon's band?
Citizen Dick.
Citizen Dick. He did. He looked like a member of Citizen Dick, and I was like, okay, there's the 90s. That's the 90s I remember.
Yeah, I know. That was definitely that, and that like quasi-industrial music were like, this is the 90s. Okay.
Yeah.
I felt the same way. I felt like it was this had been sat on, like this was in the cans of this were in Wings' trunk for like 5 years, and he's like, oh shit, I made a movie. Oh my god, I gotta get distribution. Speaking of Wings, let's get to him. So Linda Blair plays Maggie Joyner, who is Marjo's mom. And Kyle, Marjo is a real name.
Okay. Sure.
There was a famous, Jacob, what's his name? Marjo Gortner?
Gortner, yes.
Who was a child preacher who, there was a kind of famous documentary made about him in the 70s called just Marjo, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And he played the analog to Luke Skywalker in Luigi Cozzi's Star Wars ripoff called Star Crash.
Yep.
He's got really big frizzy like Willie Ames hair.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta look this up.
Yeah, but that
also in Food of the Gods, if I'm correct.
Oh, was he in Food of the Gods? Jeez, I haven't seen that since I was a kid. But the documentary Marjo is very interesting.
Okay.
Worth checking out. I think you can see that for free on Tubi TV if you use that app. Okay, so Maggie Joyner is Linda Blair. Marjo's her son. He's in the hospital. A cop's there. His name is Max. We find out that's her husband, Wings' ex-partner. She wants to know where Wings is now. And so he begrudgingly gives her the location of Wings Hauser. And it turns out he's in Baja. And you get the sense from the way people are talking about him, I think, that he's fallen, right? He's just kind of split. And so she goes down to Baja, and well, before that, we get to see Wings. And I want to play a little bit of his audio because he's at this, like, it's like a trailer or something. It's like a little, like, food cart kind of place, and it's super cute. Like, they have tables set up and lights, and it's like a little kind of a little, like, bodega-y, restaurant-y kind of thing. And there's a wedding there, and the bride is weeping because the bridegroom didn't show up. And Wings is there getting shit-faced, and he wants to help out. So he's talking to the proprietor, Roses. He says her name weird. Roses. Anyway, I love this introduction to Wings because he is soused.
No, come dance, Roses! Oh, dancing, Roses!
You don't understand. This is a very sad moment.
Sad?
Don't you see? The bride is crying. The bridegroom never showed up.
Well, let me talk
No,
to her.
you don't have to
No,
talk
Roses,
to her.
I
Please,
should
just
say
sit
something.
down and
Let me say something.
No, you don't have to
I
say
can
anything.
talk
Just
to her.
no. Just sit down and be quiet. Please.
Okay. Roses, I
No,
think I should say
please,
something.
No, she has her family here. She doesn't need you to say anything. No more celebration.
Okay. Roses, I just...
Then be quiet.
Okay.
Yes, me.
I should say something.
I don't know why I love that. I love that introduction to him. I should say something.
He's such a clueless asshole.
Yeah. You know, the other thing that made this feel like a mid-90s movie to me was that god-awful, like, digital reverb.
Hold on. Sorry, can you say that again? I just accidentally played that.
I was saying the other thing that felt like 1994 to me was that, like, god-awful digital reverb that they kept using on all of the ADR and all of the Foley.
Yep.
Like, for a while, I couldn't tell if it was just terrible audio and the fact that, you know, maybe this had been ripped from a VHS at some point in the past and copied around a couple of times. But then I realized it was probably both.
I think it was both. The levels were crazy. So I scraped some audio out here to make these clips. And the loudness, there was no consistency in loudness. Like anytime there's music or an exciting event, it's peaking. And then like anytime Cole was talking or someone, like it was like negative 28, like maximum dB. Like it was really, really tough to work with. Some of these clips have a lot of like artifacting and weird sound in them because I had to normalize them so much to make them audible. The sound was really weird in this.
Terrible. No, you're right. There were key points that I had to rewind a few different times because I couldn't hear over the Foley that everybody seemed to be so excited about showcasing this movie.
So Maggie shows up on a bus. This is like scrub, flat, nothing, nowhere, Baja, Mexico. So, a bus pulls up. Wings is there. He's been drinking all night long. He's shaking, taking another shot of tequila as the sun comes up. And then the bus pulls away and Maggie's standing there and he's like rubbing his eyes, doing the classic, like, wait, what? Is that my ex-wife? So she explains what happened to Marjo and wants him to come back. And we find out that it's 94. Wings is ex-LAPD. He's not as progressive as you might want him to be about his son's sexuality. So they have a fight about that.
You forget, he was my baby too, and you kept him from me. Ever since you bring this kid home from the hospital, you've been treating him like some goddamn China doll. And every time I tried to put a little manhood into him, every time I tried to discipline him, you start screaming at me about sensitivity. Oh, Joe, he's not like all the other boys. He's sensitive. Well, no shit. He's not like all the other boys. And it's no wonder he's out on the goddamn streets, hustling nickels and dimes, and it's no wonder I got my son as a faggot. Oh, that's right. Let's hit. You want to hit? Come on, hit me. You got more balls than he does.
I didn't come here for one of your drunken lectures. I came here because I need your help.
Help? Lady, I have given you everything I have. I gave you a house, I gave you a car, and you get a check every month.
I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about you.
He's living in a yacht, like a sailboat that's dry docked out in the middle of the Baja Desert.
Yeah.
I think dry docked is generous.
It looks like it's up on like 4 ladders.
It does. It's on cinder blocks.
I got to tell you guys, though, that actually looks pretty appealing to me. Like, so I can just walk down to this place and get tacos and drink Cuervo Especial, and I don't have to drive, and then I just fall asleep in this wooden boat.
Roses is going to take really good care of me.
Yeah, and I bet Joe thinks Roses loves him.
Yeah,
because I'm white, I have some money. Roses loves me.
Yeah.
Joe is Wings' name, Joe Joyner. So he decides to come back to LA and see his son and kind of get the stuff sorted out. And we get another song from Talent. This song is sung by Wings. And this is Walking on the Right Side of the Devil. And if you have not heard Wings Hauser, in his breakthrough film Vice Squad, he sang the title song called Neon Slime, which sounds like it's this cocaine-fueled... I highly recommend you check it out if you haven't heard it. But this is a step back, but it's still that balls out Wings performance vocally that I love.
More than a car, but I run with the beast. I still the man, so out on the streets. I own the city, it's mine to break. Get out of my way, I'm heaven's new snake. 'Cause I'm walking on the right side of the devil, and I'm running on the right side of
That made me happy, as all Wings Hauser songs do.
Yeah, absolutely. And so that's playing over a montage of the skinheads, walking through LA, spraying swastikas on shit, setting cars on fire, just
throwing beer bottles at buildings and alleyways.
Yep.
Because it can.
Yeah.
Jumping on the car.
That's right.
We saw that twice. I think we saw that.
I think that's
twice.
the same shot twice. Yeah.
I think it is.
It was so nice. He used it twice.
So did Wings, he got a start in music, right? Did he come out to LA to be in a band, or was he in a band and then came out to LA?
So his dad was a screenwriter who was blacklisted during the whole commie thing. So Wings came out to do music. He was in a folk band. Visions of Sunshine, I believe is the name of the group. He was dating she's a contralto, I think. And Wings played a lot of the stuff on it and wrote a lot of the tunes. Not my thing because I don't like that like Ren Fair type of singing. I get that was a thing, but I can't do it. So I don't own that. But he did that in the late 60s, and then he kind of rebranded himself as Wings Livin' Right, and he did a solo album which I own and love. I adore it. It's got a few fucking killer songs on it. But so then that didn't work out. So he started acting. So Bright was born, and he and his wife split, I believe. And he actually was starting to act and lived in like he was homeless essentially. He slept in some like garages and had other people watch Bright while he went out and worked as a security guard, I think, to while he was beating the streets and looking for acting gigs, and he got into soaps, and that's where he got his break. There's your long answer.
Thank you.
Yes. Jacob, I was hoping you could tell me, so when Joe arrives in LA, there's a street preacher out there, and can you tell me who this? Let's play it, and then will you tell me who this is? But he interacts with Joe, who's just got off the Greyhound.
Yes, brothers, listen to me if you have ears. He is coming. What do you think, brother? I don't believe he's ever left here.
Brother, all I got is a cold cheeseburger and a sore ass from riding a Greyhound all night, okay? I ain't got no money.
I don't want your money. Just a few kind words.
You want a kind word? Hollywood. God bless you.
God, I love that line. But yeah, that's Mickey Newberry.
So I'm ignorant of Mickey Newberry.
If I'm correct, he was kind of a early. Oh God, I hope I'm right on this, but I thought he was kind of an early outlaw country guy, or at least a songwriter. I think in Waylon Jennings' Lukenbach, Texas, he talks about Newberry's train songs.
Okay.
And if I'm correct, if it's the same guy, then yeah, he was kind of a tangential figure of that movement.
Okay, because I was trying to do some research on this movie's soundtrack and stumbled on a Google Books result that was his biography talking about his involvement in this film. So I was like, wow, I've literally never heard of this guy before. I was surprised.
Yeah, I mean, I hope to God I'm right on that. I looked it up and did a little bit, but yeah, I hope that's the same Newberry.
It's the same guy.
Okay, good.
I skimmed around the other pages in the book, and it's definitely the same guy.
Yeah.
Kyle, what do we need to talk about next here? We're almost. Oh no, sorry. There's one exciting incident that has to happen, and then we kind of move into the second half of this film.
Yeah.
So Joe visits Marjo in the hospital, where he's recuperating from his beating.
Yeah.
Things are a little tense, as they always are between the father and son.
You want a cigarette?
I don't smoke.
You don't smoke? That's good. You mind if I do? So what's this, the Rams? I didn't know you were a Ram fan.
It's Mom's. She's a lunatic.
Sounds like your mother. She always did go for big men in tight pants.
She still does. Of course, so do I. So how's Mexico?
It's Mexico.
Then Joe goes out and gets drunk. If it's not clear yet, listener, Joe has a severe drinking problem. So after his visit with his son and seeing his son all beat up, he goes out and gets stinking drunk, and then he meets Max, the cop that we met in the hospital when Marjo was first hospitalized. And Joe's getting drunk, Max is having coffee, and they're talking about the good old days. I wanted to actually play this because basically Joe's saying, why can't we just go stomp these skinheads?
There was a time when a man like yourself made a difference. Somebody starts chewing up our sidewalks, you go out there and you kick a little ass. You make an example. End of story.
No more, brother. That went out in the 60s. Too many people got hip to the Constitution.
Yeah, well, you know what you need, huh? You need a night out with the boys. Put the badge in the back pocket. Go out there and draw a little blood. Because nothing gets a man's attention faster than the sight of his own blood. Am I right?
What we really need is an eyewitness. Someone who won't be afraid to stand up and point a finger at these guys.
Margin. That's why you got Margin.
I'm afraid not. Nobody's going to believe a 15-year-old gay kid who's got his ass beat in Hollywood. What'd I tell you? Right on time. Every Friday night, they like a march on the Jewish side.
I was a little surprised that in 94 they said no one's going to believe a 15-year-old gay kid who got his ass stomped in Hollywood. I understood that West Hollywood was a largely homosexual community. Yeah. And I would have thought that, I mean, we're talking about the first fucking Clinton administration. I thought that there's a little bit of justice for, I don't know. Am I naive? Was it really that different? I mean, like Kyle was saying,
you know, I'm not sure. I was distracted when I first really heard Max talk because I'm like, God, I know that voice. And the actor's name is Daryl Roach, who played Chuck in Pee-wee's Big Adventure. He's the bike shop owner.
Oh my!
What?
Are you serious?
Oh my God!
I'm double checking as I speak, but yeah, no, I made note of that because I was like, oh shit, that's the nice guy Chuck.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, Daryl
Keith had an accent. Am I crazy?
No, he definitely has an accent in Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Okay. I was like, I've only seen it 27 times, so I.
No. Yeah, Daryl Keith Roach, known for Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Chuck, 1985.
Wow, and he played Max.
Yeah.
Okay, so the guy's a chameleon.
Yeah. Obviously a pretty good actor.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing that you keyed into that.
Yeah, no kidding. He looked vaguely familiar, but I never would have. I mean, wow. Okay, so here's the breaking point, the crisis moment. So obviously Marjo being beaten was the crisis point that starts this whole thing. But Joe is not the most likable character in the world. He's a drunk, as we said. He's an ex-cop who is more concerned about his sense of justice than he is like the Constitution or people's rights. So he's not the most likable guy. And he's also, I mean, I haven't played these clips yet, but he's not proud of his son, who is a homosexual. He loves his son, but he's disgusted with his choices or whatever he calls them, you know. He's not the most likable guy. So when he goes out to do what he does next, I don't know. I felt a little bad for him, but I didn't. Jacob, what does he do after this scene?
Well, I mean, first he gets super drunk and then goes to, track down the skinheads that beat up his son. And he goes in there, breaks into their little clubhouse, finds Bentz, played by his son, Cole Hauser, and pulls a gun on him.
Back off! Are you fucking nuts? Yeah, I'm nuts.
So, yeah, this is insane. I know he's drunk and he's angry, but this is like 50, 65 skinheads.
Easily.
And he has like one gun and he's looks like he's just about falling down drunk. Although, you know, I guess, right, like, I mean, I don't want to demonize cops or anything, but like cops are notorious for drinking as much as they want and going out and doing whatever they want, and knowing that they get pulled over, you just show your badge and you move on with your day. So cops kind of can do whatever they want to do. So I'm sure he still has that sense of bulletproof kind of whatever, right?
Yeah. And he's following this skinhead group with a fifth of Jack Daniels. And he's like, it felt like a cartoon in some sense, where he's like, felt like he's tippy-toeing behind them and then stops behind a lamppost and then like takes a couple swigs off of his Jack Daniels.
Yes. Okay, is it weird for me to think that like I love Wings, and I actually think he's a great actor. We've watched a lot of crappy movies where he's always the best thing. Like he's great, but he doesn't know how to act drunk. Every time he tries to act drunk, it's really bad.
You think so? I didn't think that.
I don't know. I didn't think that was his strongest acting talent.
I'm with you on this one, Jacob. It kind of felt like in writing this, he wrote like an incredibly dynamic part for himself, right? Where he would have these opportunities to play really drunk, and then, eventually we'll get into like this huge emotional journey that he goes on in the next part of this. But there was, he's kind of got that like the all energy or kind of the low energy thing. And for me, it kind of varied between the two. And when he was drunk, he was kind of acting drunk a little bit on this.
I agree. I fully agree.
It's also really interesting. Like if he, to me, it felt like if he had cut like almost half of the dialogue out of this, like the whole piece would have moved a lot faster. Like when we get to Mexico, when we get introduced to him in Mexico, that's for me where it started to take like kind of the first dive, and then like the energy picks up a little bit like during his journey. But it's almost like a less is more. If he had really kind of just trimmed this down a little bit, I think he would have shined a little bit more.
In Mexico, I half expected him to start singing "How Dry I Am."
So you think it might have been a little over the top, is what you're saying?
A little bit over the top. And I love over the top Wings. I fucking love it.
Yeah. I didn't have the same issue you guys did with it, but I completely understand that. So as you can imagine, it doesn't go well. Wings confronts Bence, who's been identified as the leader. And, he's kind of, I think he's like seeing double, whatever. He kind of pauses and then he gets jumped, and Bence kicks the shit out of him and then proceeds to piss all over him. And then they call the cops on him. So I'm sorry. Wings started that by breaking the fifth of Jack Daniels over Bence's back of his head. So the cops have to take him away. He did break and enter and assault somebody. So he spends the night in the tank, and Maggie comes to get him out, and they have this conversation about what are you going to do? I mean, like I really like that whole sequence after she picks him up, because she's so sick of him. You can tell that she's spent a lot of time dealing with this shit in the past. And there's this conversation where she asks, what are you going to do? Where do you want to go? And he tells her he wants to go and kind of get cleaned up. And I wanted to play a little bit of that because I thought this was actually some pretty decent acting and a little bit of heart that actually came through here and poked out.
Maggie, do you remember when we used to go to your dad's place up in Topanga? And I'd get healthy and dry out? You remember that?
How could I forget?
Well,
Joe, what do you want to do?
I want to go to Topanga. No, listen. I saw the kid today. I mean, our son. He doesn't like to be called kid anymore. He goes, "Don't call me kid." He's a tough little shit. He's a lot like you are. Hey, he's sitting in his wheelchair. He's all beat up, but his head was high, Maggie. And he just said, "This is who I am." He looks at me in the eyes. "This is who I am." And for a split second, I swear to you, I was proud of him. And when I saw you in Mexico, with your dress blowing in the wind, I knew then what I'd thrown away, okay? Since I've been back here, I'm thinking maybe there's a chance for an old drunk like me, huh? And maybe you were right, You said that he could use a father. I think I could use a son. And I could use some family. Maggie? Would you please take me back to Topanga just one more time? And maybe I can get some help. Please?
I thought that was like the most effective scene in the film as far as like, again, seeming genuine and like actually being emotive and like reading like the way it's supposed to come across.
Oh, he's brilliant. He's so good in that scene.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. The other scene that I thought he did a really beautiful job, and both of them, was the father-son conversation with the wheelchair reference that he was mentioning in the clip. Especially like there was something that was really moving to me about the son's line about something along the lines of like, I regret some of the decisions that I made, but I don't regret who I am. I've messed that up, but it was something along those lines that I thought was just really strong. And the way that those two played off of each other in that moment was really powerful.
So this is the big beat where things turn. So is this your part, Jacob, that you liked, or is this who was the big fan of the second half of the film?
Oh, I'm a big fan of the second half. This is the start of the multitude of montages.
Yes. Yeah, and I agree with both you guys. Like, there was definitely some pacing issues with this that I was like, the first time I was watching this, I had a shit-eating grin the entire time. I'm not gonna lie, but like the first half, I was like, whatever, this is passable. I read it was terrible, whatever. And then the second half, I was like, holy shit, why were you keeping this in your back pocket for the fucking first 55 minutes or whatever? Like, yeah, that should have been. Okay, so the music in here that we keep referring to as bananas. I want to mention that a couple of the songs in here are by Sherwood Ball. Have you ever heard of him? I looked him up. He is son of Ernie Ball.
Yeah, I thought that was crazy.
Ernie Ball?
Ernie
the
Ball.
Ernie Ball?
The Ernie Ball. The strings. Yeah, so he does a couple of the songs in here, like the more anthemic. Yeah, so let's just play some of it. So they go up to Topanga. There's a cool cabin up there, but Wings stays down in the little tiny like trailer to dry out. I mean, and he goes to his sweats. He does the whole thing. Marjo's taking care of him, makes him some brown rice and broccoli or something, and Wings is starting to train, and that's where we get our first montage. Did you guys notice Wings' tank top, by the way?
Yes.
Oregon State University Beavers.
Yes. So rad.
Yeah, that was very random. Okay, so here's a little training music. So what is happening visually there?
Some sit-ups. There's some sit-ups happening. There's some chopping wood.
Oh, so much chopping wood. And a lot of running uphill.
A labored metaphor about running up a hill. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think they used the same scene a couple of times of him running up the hill. Marjo's at the top of the hill going, "Yeah, Dad," And oh my God, so awesome.
I love that. Instead of having him change shirts like between each of those shots, he's always got that Beaver shirt on, so everything was shot at the same time. His first run up the hill, he had to stop and catch his breath, but the third time, high fives at the top.
Oh man, I loved the push-ups he was doing, like couch push-ups is what I said in my notes. I was just like, I've never seen that before. Maybe I should try that.
I think it's a good way to ease into a push-up. So he's training. Kyle, go ahead.
But he goes through this, like his detox, like how they visualize his detox was absolutely amazing. Like the montages of him throwing up and then like going into these fever dreams and like mixing up the past and his fever dreams or detox dreams. I loved that montage.
Well, I swear to God, his fever dreams are an entirely different movie. Like there were different actors and just different characters. I'm just like, what the fuck is going on?
Well, so one of the things I thought was crazy was like Kyle was saying that dealing with the past, he dreams about that wedding in Baja and he assaults the bride and pulls her blouse down over her breast. And I was like, holy shit. I'm hoping that's just a fever dream and that's not him seeing things through Wings colored glasses the first time around. But I'm sure that was actually just him realizing visually the emotional violence that his drinking has done to people. I think is what that was supposed to be for, right?
Yeah, but correct me if I'm wrong, but there's also different scenes that we hadn't seen of the skinheads, you know, causing havoc too, which was interesting.
Yes, and we see a rape. There's several sequences where the skinheads are wilding. That's totally unrelated to this, right? Because there was some things in his dream where it's like he couldn't know that. Like we saw that as viewers, but he wasn't there.
Yeah. we also saw the catalyst for him to decide to leave the police force, which was a pretty powerful scene as well.
Oh, that's right.
So he keeps reliving that past, and basically I believe he's chasing a suspect, and he stops to shoot at him, and like a young boy runs out in front while he's shooting, and he ends up shooting like this young African American boy.
Oh, is that what that was?
That was his kind of breaking point for I can't be a policeman anymore, and that's when he went completely into the bottle. At least that's my assumption.
No, that might be right. I thought it was like a Tamir Rice. I thought he shot an unarmed kid, thinking that there was some type of threat to him or something. I totally saw that differently. I think you're probably right, though. I didn't realize that there was that he was chasing and the kid got in the crossfire. I thought that he actually intentionally shot that person thinking it was an adult that had a weapon and it was an unarmed kid. So I might have missed.
Oh, no, I'm not sure. It could be either one of those. It was so.
It was a fever dream. Yeah.
Correct. But that's why he left the force, as Kyle said. Since Linda Blair's in this, she's got to get her clothes off. So let's talk a little bit about I love that there's back-to-back full songs in here. So Marjo gives his dad some condoms and says, hey, these aren't sheepskins or whatever, but they're latex.
Okay, that was the weirdest exchange in this whole fucking movie. I have kids. Weird. That's a weird fucking thing.
But he justifies it by saying you've been down in Mexico for a year. Who knows where you've been getting around. So for mom's sake, here's some condoms.
So you gonna sleep with mom tonight?
I don't think that's any of your business.
Yeah, you're gonna sleep with her. So I figured that for the past year and a half, you probably had your hands on every woman south of the border. So I thought you could use these.
Are you crazy? I'm your father.
They're not as sensitive as lambskin, but they're safe. Latex.
Latex. You know, rubbers.
Just take it.
Just weird.
Yeah, that noise is weird.
Super weird.
No, there's no way to spin that where it's not weird.
But you're right. It was strange that there's a full song for the foreplay, let's say. Yes. A full song for the foreplay, and then a full fucking song for the fucking.
Yes.
Which was a lot more explicit than I expected.
Yeah.
I won't lie.
Yeah.
No Merkins visible there.
No. And she is waxed, and it was I saw all of her.
Yeah.
I saw it all. That first song in there, it is Wings out in his trailer and Linda Blair up in the house, and they're both thinking about hooking up and porking. So they're just kind of she's tossing and turning because she's too horny to sleep. He's out there kind of just reminiscing about the past and chuckling to himself and leaning up against the wall, and just their loins are just burning. And then literally the second song starts.
Obviously that fire was so hot the sun picked right up on it as well. Do you have? Can we do a back-to-backer on this one? Yes.
Yes, I'm not going to play. Yes. I don't know how to handle this because they're two separate files.
The transition is the best part.
Trust. we said goodbye.
Lovemaking done.
I thought maybe that's why they called it Skins, because there was a lot of skins in that.
He was shirts when he was training, and then they were both skins that night.
And it was just so long. I mean, that was just like long and awkward.
Whole scene, and whole song.
Like, yeah, it was like, I haven't felt that awkward in a while. I felt like I was like invading their privacy.
Yeah, I know.
It wasn't sexy. It was just gratuitous.
Well, and it felt weird to me that like they'd been dating for 5 years at this point, so not a lot of acting going on. I mean,
no,
they weren't probably actually doing anything, but I mean, like,
I don't know. I mean, I was unsure about that.
You think it's like Lars von Trier's Nymphomania or whatever?
The brown bunny going on.
Yeah. So the song playing during the lovemaking scene is "Time to Need a Friend." And that's the aforementioned Sherwood Ball, and the other singer is Dee Funk. And I don't know much about her. I couldn't find a lot of stuff.
Do you have anything on her?
No. I looked it up too. I couldn't find anything.
Okay.
He kind of started I got like a real Joe Cocker vibe when it first started, and then it kind of moved into like a Rod Stewart.
Mm-hmm.
It was really funny. Alicia was listening. I was watching it in the living room. She was in the other room, and she was hearing that song playing, and she was like, "Oh, I'm so glad people don't sing like that anymore."
Yeah.
And I was just like, "You're right. You're absolutely right. I don't miss it."
So it's probably only a matter of time until that comes back into style, right?
Yeah. Everything old is new again.
Although with the pace of, with instant communication through the internet and all that stuff, it feels like that's not true. Like I always thought that it'd be like the Andy Warhol, the 15 minutes of fame kind of thing, and everything would just, I mean, that happens a lot, like, right, hashtags and trending things and whatever, viral stuff. But like, if you had told me when Cher's Believe came out in 99 that effect on her voice was going to be not only like used until today, but heavily used consistently in pop music, I would have said you're fucking crazy. Because that to me is like the equivalent of a wah pedal, where it's like, it's 1969, everybody got a wah pedal, and you got to work the shit out of that until 72, and then nobody touched it because it was so old sounding. So I when I first heard that, I was like, okay, so there's that, and then this other singer used it in this song, and then this rapper person used it in this song. This is going to be gone in a year. I honestly thought that, and like, by like 9/11 or something, like that's going to be so fucking tired, and we're still.
Nope.
Like, there's people who have based their career on it. There are rappers who have transitioned into singing because they have this tool to make them sing in key.
Yeah.
Like, sorry for the side rant. It's fucking bizarre to me. So that's my fear, is that Joe Cockery, whatever singing, is going to come back and then never leave.
Ugh.
Because we're post modern. So now everything's on the table. Right.
It happened.
Okay, so we're in the final act here. The last part of this movie just comes crashing down. Like, everything happens super fast and in a compressed manner, where I remember looking at my watch or whatever and like going, there's 10 minutes left.
I did the same thing.
How is this going to whatever? And then like there's a point where it's like, wait, there's 1 minute left on this file. Like, this, what? So I was a little frustrated with the compression of the storytelling there at the end. Somebody tell me what Wings' next move is after porking his wife.
Well, I think the next move is that his partner Max gets beaten and is in the hospital.
And painted white.
Okay, so they say that as they're going into Max's room. And so I'm like, oh, no, they didn't really do that. And then you get there and he's not. So I imagine that the actor was just like, you're not fucking doing that to me.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, sorry.
I hope that was the case, too.
Yeah, I really hope it was. Because once they said that as they're going in, I was just like, oh, no. No, don't do that.
You just say, do you have any idea who I am?
Yeah.
Have you seen Pee-wee's Big Adventure? I'm not getting painted white.
But yeah, Matt, I had the same thing. When I'm looking at the time left, and I'm like, 6 minutes? What the fuck? It's just like, you've established these skinheads as the worst people on earth. I want to see them get a fucking beatdown that's going to last more than 3.5 minutes.
Yes. So at Max's bedside, there's an impassioned speech from, actually, I'm going to play this from Linda Blair about like what's wrong with the world, because this is where the last scene really kind of happens or starts from.
What, you gonna lay there like a carrot for the rest of your life? Wake up, Max.
He can't hear you.
Yes, he can.
No one can hear you. No one's listening anymore. They're all sitting in their high rises, scared to death, watching sitcoms, hiding from the world.
Calm down now.
No, I won't calm down. I am tired of sitting on the sidelines like some short-skirted cheerleader. I sat and watched you disappear into a bottle, and I lost you. I sat and watched my son almost die because of those bald-headed bastards. Well, I am tired of sitting and watching the world destroy itself.
Well, what do you want to do?
I don't know.
I do.
He has a plan.
Oh, his recruitment plan is great.
No words necessary.
Yeah, I don't know why we got Jared Kushner on Middle East Peace, because Wings Hauser hit the streets of L.A. and got the Crips, the Bloods,
the Triads,
the rabbis,
some AA meetings.
Yeah, and literally his recruitment scene is like 45 seconds long.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's basically by the way, that last scene we just heard, I completely could picture Wings on his shitty little early like fucking laptop from '94, like sitting in their high rises watching their sitcoms. That's good. Anyway, he elects one black guy to essentially be the voice of all of these disparate groups, saying, "Why should we help you?" Should we play that, or?
Oh, you gotta play that.
Why should we help you, white man? You wouldn't help me. You didn't help the Indians with your fork-tongue speaking ass. You killed them off. You put them on reservations. You sent missionaries to Africa. You killed the Jews. You put Japanese families in concentration camps. He's put us to sleep and we don't even know it. Them skinheads out there have nothing but his alter ego, out of control. You ain't gonna change. Why should we help you, huh? Why should we help you, white man, when you won't even help yourself?
You're not gonna do this because of our friendship. You're not gonna do this because of all these wonderful people, are you? But you're gonna do it.
That's his reply to that?
That's his... Yeah. He's
you don't
apparently
have a friendship.
Silver-tongued. I know.
Oh, my God.
No, the one that they just... Did you not see them begrudgingly become friends there, Kyle? It just happened. So from this point, like we can't stress this enough how much this was compressed into just... there is this surreal ending to this movie that comes careening out of nowhere. Again, another stolen shot, I'm sure, from the back of a truck. I mean, this is like, so Wing starts marching down the street with like a baseball bat. And then like in typical like music video or like musical style, like people start coming from the sides and joining up with him and like in their order of importance to the story.
Yeah.
Like Maggie comes out.
I thought they were going to start doing the Love is a Battlefield dance.
Oh my God. And then, so we get to hear, again, the music was really so huge in this, Coming Back Again, which is also by Sherwood Ball. So a little bit of that. So, yes, bear in mind that this is a growing sea of people marching towards the camera, holding weapons, laughing. Wings is holding hands with his son and his wife. They're all excited to go brutally beat these skinheads up. It's like they're going to a picnic, but they're going to beat up fascists. And I'm all for punching a Nazi. I just, narratively, this was so surreal that I loved it. I was fucking going bananas.
Yeah, I loved it, but I also think, I mean, this is the true flaw of the film, is that it sets up these skinheads as the worst people, which of course they are. You know, they're terrible, terrible people. But there's no payoff. The payoff is so quick and makes no sense. It's like I wanted 20 straight minutes of skinhead beatdown.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And we get 3, maybe 3 minutes.
Yeah.
After that montage, like we earned it. We earned a full beatdown. We did not get our money's worth.
No, there's got to be some kind of like dramatist law that's like the beatdown of the villain has to be at least twice as long as the march to the villain's house.
Yeah.
Like that just seems like common sense to me. But we did get this little soundbite. So this film has flaws. I'm not going to lie to you guys. But seeing Wings Hauser walk into a Nazi skinhead nest and scream, "Let's kick some ass," kind of paid for the ticket.
Yeah.
Who wants to finish this up?
I think you just did. I mean, that was...
No, because there's the big, cock block at the end, because you're like, oh, I can't wait till he beats down Cole Hauser.
Oh, that's right.
And then he doesn't. I'm just like, where the fuck is that guy? And then he's shown like exiting through a dark stairwell, and I'm just like, fucking sequel, come on.
That's right. That was the opening shot as well, wasn't it? Him like...
I believe that was, yeah.
Wow. Nice call.
Yeah. I honestly, the audio was so bad, I don't think you guys heard it. But when he's beating Bence's second in command, he says, "You make me ashamed to be of the color white." Did you hear that?
Oh, yes. That was such a great line.
So he's saying, "Where's Bence? Where's Bence?" Blah, blah. And so I think the implication is that after the cops come and this all whatever's, Bence returns and reopens shop, and he's going to recruit people again. So it's like Hydra, right? Cut off one head.
Well, the last line was, it's never over, is it? Is that right? That is very...
Yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Right. You're right. I forgot about that. And that is Gang Boys. Is there anything we didn't cover that you guys wanted to discuss? I like to imagine that he was building towards a sequel, and I'm going to get the CERN collider and go into that Earth where there is Gang Boys 2, the re-Bensoning. And in my mind, it starts off with Joe and Maggie and Marjo making donuts by Rose's place, because he said he wanted to start a donut place down there because he'd clean up American donuts with the holes.
Oh, God.
So that's how it starts. And then somehow he gets word that Bence is back and is up to shenanigans again.
I'm in. I'm sold.
He's got a little apron on and a dirty hat.
Yeah.
Yep. But just mineral water. No Cuervo now. He licked that. Yeah. So I'm ready to talk about judging this thing if you guys are.
Mm-hmm.
Judge.
Kyle, I want you to go first.
Okay. I would say, despite the pacing issues and maybe a little too much dialogue and a couple of scenes that could just be entirely cut from this thing, I would go cool. I think this was a cool movie. I really appreciated the fact that they stretched their production dollars on this. And I really appreciated the message too. I think at that time and now, seeing someone sort of evolve in their thinking and accept their son and at least try to promote like this idea of equality is commendable, and I give that a cool.
Nicely done.
I'm gonna have to agree with Kyle. Maybe a half hour into this movie, I was like, oh God, I don't know about this. But the second half really sold me. And even though we just got a tiny taste of it, anytime you get to see a Nazi beaten with a bat, I'm there. I will buy that ticket because that is satisfying. You want to see those guys get beat down. And yeah, the character arc of Joe of Wings Hauser was really cool. And I think this is why you do Wings Hauser month, is because Wings, no matter how bad the movie is, you're always rooting for him. There's something just inherently good about him, even though he can be frustrating at times, he can be inscrutable. You just don't understand what the fuck is going on in his head a lot of the time, but you just love him. And I just think I really love the guy. So I would say on the whole, this movie was definitely cool.
Also, well done. I'm with you guys. Like I said earlier, I kind of tipped my hand there. I had a huge shit-eating grin on my face the entire time I was watching this. We got back from the coast, and I was like, I got to do a little research for the show. Plugged it in, and it flew by. I was frustrated with some pacing. I thought there was some extraneous scenes. I thought there was definitely some stuff missing. It is a deeply flawed work. It is also a deeply personal work, and I liked Joe's arc. It might have been a little corny. It might have been a little after school specially, but it had heart in it and it seemed genuine and it seemed like it was coming from a good place. And I thought Wings' performance was good. And there's the requisite hilarity of the montages and all the corn dog stuff that makes it funny. But on the other side of that coin, I think that there were some good scenes in there and some good work from people. So, it's a flawed movie that I have to say is cool, and I was totally happy to watch it twice.
Indeed. Well done.
Yeah, thanks for picking this one. This was really, really a fun watch.
Yeah, I just figured you guys could see some Nazis getting punched as much as I could.
Always feels good.
Thank you.
It's also just nice for him as this guy built his career. Like, he built this thing like role by role. And I love like just his entire underdog story and the fact that he got to this place where he is creating these little vehicles to show off what he's got and to try to put something out there. And I mean, this one worked for us. I'm kind of curious about, what kind of impact some of these smaller things that he's done has had. It'd be really interesting to see if he gets some feedback on it.
Yeah. All month I have been fantasizing that there's some world where I can write his biography, because that would mean I got to hang out with him for like 3 months and interview him with a digital recorder and just ask him why'd you do that? Why do you put mustard on first and then relish? No, why do you I want to know everything about you. Like I kind of want to just gut him and climb him into him like a tauntaun carcass and just walk around like Wings Hauser for a day.
Matt, I would read that book, and I really hope that you can somehow get a hold of this guy, because it would. I don't think anyone appreciates him as much as you do, and I think you would be a great biographer for Wings. Wings, if you're out there, you got to make this happen.
So, can I get that in writing?
Yeah,
because testimonials help.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for doing this. For both, just participating in the revival at all, but coming back for Wings Hauser, and I think that's a great way to end the show, because it gives me a chance to gush a little bit about something I love and not just a bitch about bad whatever, So that was great. So we don't need any anecdotes, obviously, because we all enjoyed it.
Watch this.
Yeah, watch this, and it's hard to find, unfortunately. I could not find like a Region 1 DVD or anything of it. It's been released like in Germany and like Russia and like different markets, but never here as far as I can tell. So that's a bummer, because I had to download it illegally. Hopefully someday it will come out and it'll have that commentary that I've been jokingly referring to, but I actually really want to hear. I'm only half joking. I would fucking kill to hear Wings ramble about this period in his life or something. Be amazing. All right, guys, thanks again for your time and for hanging out and talking Wings with me. For That's Cool, That's Trash, I'm Matt Howell.
I'm Kyle Schaefer.
And I'm Jacob Balcom.
And you folks out there, stay home if you can. Stay masked up. Stay safe. Stay sane. Stay trashy.
That's trash.
It's garbage, folks.
Did I tell you, Roses? I was thinking of opening a donut shop here in Old Mexico. I think a guy can make a hell of a killing selling donuts in Baja. American ones, of course. Little holes in the sparkly things, assorted colors.